Well, I started when I was 6 and just going to the musical school. I decided, I don't remember if I was the one deciding to play the violin, but I definitely know that I loved the instrument. I was seeing my mother playing it. My mom also learned violin during her years at the music school, and she didn't, pursue it as a professional career, but she still kept playing, and I was always hearing her play. So I guess I had a certain fascination for the violin, and then it was kind of natural for me to start to play the violin and not another instrument. And I think that it's a great thing because it's even like scientifically proven that it changes the way your brain intercepts a lot of information afterwards. So it's actually a very smart thing to make your child kind of play an instrument. Is just really going to improve your whole future, I think. So
Yeah.
What do you think would be an important advice to give for anyone who wants to pursue like a professional career as a musician?
I think that the most important thing is to really look deep into your heart and to realize, do you really love it? Do you really love to do it? And I think that is something that is very, very important. If you love what you do, it will always be easier to to work, to be disciplined, to keep going when it's hard, because we go through so many stages when we want to do something professional. It's not just success, it's a lot of downfalls and a lot of failures, and you have to really learn how to deal with that. And maybe my advice for someone who wants to really make it as a professional musician is to learn how to deal with the mistakes and see them as the best lessons that you can get, because we mostly learn from our mistakes and not from our successes. So that would be my advice.
That's actually a great advice for life in general, not even just as a musician. Great. And so you recently released your first album, I believe it is, with Panfili and Friends. Can you tell me what that project is about and the process of recording this first album, what that felt like, how you approached it?
Yeah, it's a really big thing. And it started we were just playing for fun, actually. I was doing a lot of projects and playing, started with classical music, where you always play music composed by other people. And then I started working in projects, playing music that other people wanted to play. And I just really, really had the big desire to do something that I want to do, and just to have fun and be happy when I play a project, and to really just, without thinking about am I earning with it or anything, it's just really for pleasure. And I am fortunate to have a lot of great musical partners here in Vienna, and I just asked them if they would like to just give it a try and just play together for fun in a concert. And I was happy that they all agreed, obviously, and we had so much fun with the first concert, and we actually filmed it, and some of the recordings are even on my YouTube channel. And we actually got invited to play different festivals thanks to those recordings, and just people were reacting so well to it, and that made us keep going. And for me, the biggest goal was when I started seeing how people were reacting to our music and to our program and to our approach, just always having like that smile on their faces, or just telling me how many emotions they felt. And this is exactly why I started the project. For me, Panfili and Friends is all about emotions, about triggering emotions in people of different type. I think that music is the most important and powerful tool when it comes to emotions, because it's non-verbal, and you can literally reach any person in the world, no matter the culture or language or anything. And this is why I also chose to go into the folk music direction, because it's, the root of a country, of a culture, is the music, is the folk music. And this is how I also, like, always when I travel, I like to learn a little bit about different cultures. And through music, I got to get to know so many different aspects of the world. And and just the process of recording, I remember it was very intense. We were in a studio here in Austria for 3 days, and we finished the recordings on my birthday. I just turned 30 on that day, and it was just such a big milestone in my life, you know. Just I finished my first album on my 30th birthday, and it just felt like a really big achievement to me personally.
Yeah.
And
So
you know,
lovely.
especially with this project, because it's my heart project, is my baby, kind of, where I put a lot of invested a lot of heart and energy, and just the whole project gives me a lot of joy and you know, happiness,
Yeah.
just to
Even
know
you
that
speaking about it, you can tell that you're really passionate about it.
yeah.
So
and
nice.
and you know, of course, I play music
yeah.
from my country, so I also
Yeah.
kind of, I chose to play a few pieces from my you know, birth country, that
Yeah.
you know, brings me a little bit closer to home.
Now talking about a different experience that you made, you played with Hans Zimmer live, which must have been a really crazy experience, especially like so early in your career. So what did this experience teach you about the music industry and just maybe about the career that you decided to go for?
Playing, being invited in Hans Zimmer live has opened a lot of new kind of aspects of what I can really reach as a classical musician or as a classical violinist, because I never thought I'm going to play in front of such large audiences and arenas, and it just made me see how much more I can achieve, first of all, you know, in terms of that. It brought me closer to film music, which is an incredible world, you know. It's just, the music is so fantastic, not talking about Hans, but also other film music composers that I also got to work with, like Gabriel Yared, you know. So I always loved the aspect of that when I play a piece, I visualize a picture in my head. This is why I actually feel very, very comfortable playing film music, because it feels very comforting for me to see, or to at least like know that this music belongs to a picture, to a real picture. So for me, it just makes so much sense, and it's so much beautiful music that I got to play through this project. And not only Hans Zimmer live, but also the world of Hans Zimmer, which is the symphonic celebration of Hans's music. It's just really, really fantastic, and also all the musicians I got to know through this project. I learned a lot for you know, for my performances, for the way I see the music industry. Also kind of working much more on my image, working much more of what people do really see of me, what do I put out there in the world. And that's basically when I started my YouTube channel, and I'm really happy and lucky to have, I think, a quite successful YouTube channel with over 10 million views, and that just doesn't really happen, you know, in the classical world. It's a rare thing, and I feel very privileged to have been part of those experiences.
Do you have a favorite memory of performing with Hans Zimmer live? Either like performing or maybe an interaction, a story that you remember?
There were so many, but I remember one particular moment, and it was not necessarily performing on stage, but it was backstage. And you know, 𝐷𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐴, who is the original voice in The Lion King. Yeah, we got really close and really good friends on that first tour. And I just remember I was warming up before the concert with a classical piece, and there is even a picture of that moment. I might send it to you afterwards.
Yeah.
And then it was just me warming up on, I think, Massenet's meditation from the opera of Thais, and 𝐷𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐴 was just like sitting there on the floor listening to me, and I closed my eyes. I didn't see all of this happening, and the photographer who was with us on tour took this photo, but when I opened my eyes, I felt there was like a really, really special energy in the air. And then he showed me the photo of 𝐷𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐴 kind of listening to me, and just we shared that one really kind of, you know, beyond the words moment.
Yeah.
You doing this, you obviously kind of understood the consequences of COVID and tried to use like the digital word, you know, to reach more people. What are the things maybe that you think the industry can learn from, or maybe do more of even after the pandemic?
I think, you know, a lot of people realized when the pandemic started that they have not really been taking care of their image as artists, or of their, you know, social media approach. And I think the classical music can learn a lot from the pop industry. And this is where I think the classical music is either, you know, kind of, they want to be something different. and but it's actually not correct, because classical music is the mother of all music. And if we spread the word much more about the classical music, people will also appreciate pop and rock music and metal music much more. And just being able to create a taste for the music, and to have good taste in music, and to recognize good artists and talented people. So I think it would be really, really great if all musicians would try to work much more on their image online, improve the quality of their content. So, because for example, when I got a lot of bookings through my, you know, online performances, even Hans Zimmer himself saw videos of me online and liked what I do, and this is why I got invited in the first place. So, you know, it can bring you very far. And most of the musicians, until they get somewhere kind of high, they don't have management. Things don't work as they did before, when you were, let's say, nobody, and you were a talent and discovered, and you had a manager who would build you up. These things don't exist anymore. They're in the past. And nowadays you have to work a lot in creating your image, and luckily it's so easy to do it. You know, we have all the tools needed, and you just have to have an open mind. And I really hope, and I see the positive aspect of the pandemic, of communication, borderless communication of musicians. Also, I was thinking, before, people would say, you have to be there to make it. You have to be in LA, you have to be in Paris, you have to be in London to make it. And now you don't have to be. You can be in your village, living a peaceful life at the countryside, and you can become a superstar. So everything is possible, you know?
Yeah. Is there one collaboration with an artist of any instrument or anything that you would still like, that you would like to do in the future?
It's really hard, because, you know, I got this question, I got it a lot of times. And every time I have another name in my head. And
because it depends on what you're like listening to and doing. Probably.
I mean, you know, I think that, for example, from the pop industry, I would really love, and I said it already, I would love to work with Lady Gaga, because I consider her an incredible artist. You know, she is just art by itself, and you know, she's a great performer, she's a great pianist, she's a great singer, she has personality. Now we even know that she can act and songwriter and everything. So maybe I would really love to make something with her. Who knows if that would work out. And from, let's say, more like indie pop, alternative pop, I would love to do something with wait, now I have a lapsus. Oh my god. And I had his name. Oh my gosh. No, I have to restart my brain probably. What's his name? Jesus.
Is it like an instrumental?
He's a singer and guitar player, and I just thought about him so much. Super talented, incredible voice, incredible guitar player. Come on. Oh gosh.
Wow, the suspense right now is real. It's like, what is she gonna say?
And he sings like love on the weekend, love on the weekend. Oh.
Is he very known?
Very known. And I had his name on my tongue, and I just like
But it's not like John Mayer.
John Mayer.
It's John Mayer.
John Mayer, thank you.
John Mayer.
And I'm like, oh my god, what's his name?
John Mayer.
So I would really love. Yeah, I would really. I think it would be really cool to have like an acoustic set with John Mayer. You know, kind of jamming to his songs, and he's like jamming on the guitar with his smooth
I
voice.
love that. That has to happen. I really love this idea.
That would be like amazing. Not just a stage, like the carpet on the stage, kind of like, you know, smooth lights. I can see it already. I hope it's good.
But I wanna be good at forgiveness and making room, so I open the window. I open the window.